Jasmine Crockett dropped out of the race of running to be elected for the House Oversight Committee after the other Democrats voted her in last place out of 5. And this is about a week after she crashed out because Donald Trump didn't consult her about conducting. Like, girl, take the hint. Throwing tantrums, the ghetto antics, you sit there like this mofo in the office, you're yelling at people, you have no poise, no class, you cannot conduct yourself professionally ever. What do you think is going to be the result of that? Because let's be honest, your own people don't even respect you. Your constituents don't want you leading anything. The Democrats use her as the token black woman to say the wild things on camera, but when it comes to elevating her, they have no plans of doing that. They want her to be the face of this fake empowerment, the face of all the dumb shit, but when it comes time to give somebody real responsibility, yeah, they're looking right over you, girl. I feel bad, but at the same time, she keeps putting on this show. Jasmine is actually an educated person, but she puts on this show, and it's like, who is the show for? Because the Republicans don't mess with you, and neither do the Democrats. Respect is earned, not given because you're loud and shouting over everyone else. Being loud, ghetto, and unprofessional is not going to get you there quicker. Your ways don't resonate with either side. Get it together, girl.
Yes, I like the fact that a lot of TikTokers are putting out a lot of videos going off on this Democrat. They are exposing them for who they are. When you take a look at this is extremely concerning, and I pray the FBI should look at things like this. Comedian Katty Griffin posts TikTok video featuring severe head of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Trump, years after being condemned for shocking Trump stone. She is being criticized everywhere. Look at the kind of things Democrats are putting out on social media. It is crazy at this point. What is she struggling to promote here? I'm still struggling to understand this video. I saw it. I could not even comment because she is fond of this. She is suffering from severe TDS.
We're moving backwards fast. Immigration policy is destroying the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day, increasingly being erased, and gender-based violence is on the rise. We're moving backwards fast. Immigration policy is destroying the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day, are increasingly being erased, and gender-based is on the rise.
And he knows that the lower courts cannot carte blanche stop him, which hugely increases the power of the executive.
Yeah, look, this is a great week for him, not just because in the week the Supreme Court handed him the ruling on being able to deport illegal immigrants to third-party countries, essentially. So he's on a little bit of a winning streak in the courts right now. And you know what a lot of Republicans are saying is, nope, we're not tired of winning yet. This happened. The stock market's at a record high. He brokered the ceasefire in the 12-day war. Peace broke out between Rwanda and the Congo. I mean, gas prices are at a 4-year low for the summer. I mean, win after win after win. And this particular one is the most important because these individual judges had been, I think, unfairly stopping the president from governing. He won the election. They didn't. We don't have 600 presidents. We have one president. And now he's going to be able to actually govern. And so you could make an argument that this week or the last 2 weeks, the best week or 2 weeks of his entire presidency.
Yes, I believe you've seen. This is what Democrats don't want to see. Last week was the best week since Trump came into power. And you will see people like Griffin sitting there getting jealous, putting out ridiculous videos to, just make everything look like Trump has done nothing. This is the aim. I decided to do this video. I believe you've seen. I hardly put out CNN videos on this channel, but when I saw what this guy did here, I was impressed. Even one CNN journalist actually did a full in-dive into what Trump has done. They can't hide it any longer. They have seen the truth. They have seen what he can do. Even Biden could not try it.
President Trump is having a moment. I'm Michael Swerkanish in New York City. The first 5 months of Trump 2.0, they're in the books. I'm not shy about voicing my disagreement here with President Trump or doing so on radio. Often, whether it's trade, border control, I find myself agreeing with the goal, but not the approach. But viewed objectively, I have to say that Donald Trump has just had the best week or best 10 days of his second term. Who among us could deny how consequential Trump 2.0 is turning out to be? But in order for you to recognize that, you need to have an open mind about what's transpiring.
You know, border crossings are at a record low. Do you give the Trump administration some credit for that? And are you, when you look at those figures, do you think things are moving in the right direction, at least in that regard, Senator?
No, I don't give them credit for that because border crossings are low because they're violating the law every day. So we have a law in this country that says if you are fleeing terror or torture from another country, you can come here and apply for asylum. The Trump administration has suspended that law. They are not allowing anybody to come here to apply for asylum. We wrote that bipartisan bill last year to reform the asylum process, to make sure that only the right people are coming in and that we judge those cases expeditiously at the border. So it's true, there are very few people crossing on a daily basis, but that's because the Trump administration is violating the law. And it should matter to every American that on so many facets, the Trump administration doesn't care about the law. This is becoming a lawless administration. We are on a road to see our democracy atrophy to the point that it will be unrecognizable. And the border is just one example of many ways in which this administration doesn't care.
You can see how dumb, silly these Democrats sound on TV. It is insane. I'm not giving Trump credit because it's, you know, it is insane. If you are good politicians, you will always give credit when it is due. No matter how you disagree with someone politically, Trump has done a lot that he deserves credit, but these people will not give because of their ego. Look at what CNN did there. They're giving Trump credit because he deserved that. It's crazy, right? I don't want to talk much about these people. There is this lady on TikTok. She put out a video exposing some of these crazy Democrats that are disturbing places every single day. I don't even like to talk about them much. Take a look at this video.
Okay, so someone asked me to expose AOC and to give her background. Say less. So AOC, also known as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is U.S. Representative of New York's 14th Congressional District. So the way she portrays her life is in such a woe is me. I was in a working class. I lost my father at a young age. I had to work to help pay the bills. I came from the Bronx. I'm a Bronx girl. But in actuality, she was born in Parkchester, Bronx, moved 40 minutes north of the Bronx. She grew up in the suburbs, Westchester County, which now homes are selling for like $900,000 for perspective. AOC attended Yorktown High School, a very prominent high school, again, in the suburbs, but she's a Bronx girl. So back in 2019, when she was running in office, she said that she would be portraying and representing the working class. And I find that ironic because her father was an architect. She was actually from a middle class family, and her father, that small owned business that he owned, he founded an architectural firm. His architectural firm's name is Kirschbaum and Ocasio Roman Architects PC. So most of her campaigning is about how she was a bartender. She had to work to help provide for her family after her father's passing. Her father passed from lung cancer, but in 2008, she was a sophomore in college at that time. So after her father's passing, the company that he started, it didn't just end, it's still in existence, bringing in like over $500,000 revenue annually. Even if she were to work as a bartender to help pay the bills, wouldn't you think that she would attend college nearby in New York and not out of state at a private university, Boston College? Boston College currently costs $93,000 for out of state students. So when AOC is in front of minority groups, I notice her accent changes. She starts using words like ain't. So she was in front of a minority group and she's saying, I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're right, AOC, there is nothing wrong with being a bartender, but what is wrong is changing your dialect and your tone to suit the audience that your thinking appeases to them. The Democratic Party I find funny because it has a tendency to just have their people switch up accents based on who they're talking to. Jasmine Crockett does the same thing, and so does Kamala Harris. So what's my message? My message here is it's okay to relate to people, but it's another to just lie about your upbringing to appease to people that you think will relate to you. There's no need to be ashamed of your upbringing, how you were raised. Talk about the actual history of how you were raised, but to say you're from the Bronx, you come from a working class, a small business owner that your father was, it's just not accurate. So my personal opinion, another plant in the Democratic Party.
I'm always loud and proud about everything that I have to say, but it did cause me some issues for sure. So I placed last in the recommendation from steering policy. And so with that, I am not going to caucus for a vote tomorrow. And, you know, those that have decided that they want to stay.
They're crumbling in real time. Thank you guys who has been sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. I don't want to make the video long. Reason I will end here. And if you see any video after this, that is for the YouTube algorithm.
Left. Situation where this.
People line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like,
Why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
why marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like
She's seriously depressed about how hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He had
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
talking about
term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
I don't know, man. I feel like the more this one talked, the more we realize how dumb she is. Lanya.
Since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why